Never run out of YouTube video ideas. If you're a business owner wanting to use YouTube for your business, you might get stuck at the video ideation stage. So I'm going to show you how to come up with your first 10 video ideas for your business in less than 20 minutes. I'll show you how to level up your video ideas to start building an engaged audience, and how to create a system for generating ideas and never running out again. I'm Matthias from Nerdgate Media, and we help small and mid-sized businesses use YouTube to attract more of the right customers. And now let's get started with your first few video ideas. So as a business with customers, you probably get asked a set of questions frequently. These would be your frequently asked questions. Probably the easiest way to come up with your first few video ideas is to turn each one of your frequently asked questions into a video topic. So if you've been documenting all the questions that your customers ask, go through them and decide how can you turn each one into a video topic idea. Maybe they're asking how to do something. That can in itself be a video title, right? How to do blank. In a similar vein, ask your customers directly, what are you struggling with lately? And look at your competitors. You might have competitors that are already on YouTube. Look at their channels and how they present their solutions. And start thinking about how can you present your own solutions your own way. So let's go through some examples of turning FAQs into your first videos. Let's say you are a dentist office and you often get asked, does teeth whitening damage your enamel? Then your first video could be, does teeth whitening ruin your enamel? Dentist explains. If you're a real estate office, maybe one question you help answer for your clients a lot is, how much house can they afford? In that case, your video title can be, how much house can I afford in Houston or Raleigh or Phoenix or wherever you might be located? So go through your frequently asked questions, ask your customers what are they struggling with, and turn each one of those problems into a video. And I promise you, if you do this, you should be able to come up with a list of at least 10 video topics that you can make in no time. And the best part is that these topics are going to be directly relevant to your audience. So now we have some momentum going. We have the first few topics for our first few videos. So how can we start leveling up these topics to engage our audience more and to put our own unique spin on these? The first way is to get specific. If you're teaching something in one of your videos, teach one thing and teach it really well. And be specific about the outcome that the viewer will have after watching that video. So going back to our first example, does whitening damage enamel? Our video title is, does teeth whitening ruin your enamel? In that video, we want to get specific about teeth whitening, how it works, and what the outcome is for people. And help them make the decisions between, should I have whiter teeth and risk damage to my enamel or not? I don't really know anything about teeth whitening, but just go with me here. Here's another example. A level 1 video might be social media tips for restaurants. It's a decent topic, okay. You can probably come up with a better title than that. You can make a good video. But if we want to level it up and get more specific, we can say something like, how a small pizza shop can get 100 new followers in a week. Same topic, you're still talking about social media, you're still talking about restaurants, but now you've narrowed it down to pizza shop, you've narrowed it down to a specific result, gain 100 followers in a week. And that's going to go a long way in not only engaging your audience, but also being a more attractive video for them to watch. For example, if a pizza shop owner sees that video title, they're going to immediately want to watch that versus a more generic, less specific video that says social media tips for restaurants. So get specific. Another way to level up your videos is to get really detailed. Don't be afraid to spend time in the weeds. You can always use timestamps later in the video description to guide viewers to specific sections of your video if it gets a little long. But for the right viewer, diving into the details a little bit can go a long way in building trust and in making the video a lot more valuable. For example, if you're doing business consulting, instead of doing a high-level how to price your services video, you might want to walk through a specific example of a single offer and how you would price that offer, and then maybe apply it to a couple of other examples at the end of the video. So don't be afraid to get really detailed about a specific topic. Just don't try to be too detailed about more than one topic. A third way to level up your ideas is to get unique. Look at your competition, look at what they're doing, the kinds of videos that they're making and how they're presenting themselves. And then make a video about how you do things differently. Not every landscaping company mows lawns the same way. Some might charge $100 an hour, others might charge $5,000 per renovation. So how does your business conduct business, and how do you stand out from your competition? Use your unique skills and positioning to make the video specific to you and your business. Show people how you stand out. By the way, if you'd rather have somebody build this video ideation system for you and handle everything from strategy to production, that's what we do at Nerdgate Media. You can reach out at nerdgatemedia.com. Okay, so now we know how to come up with our first few video ideas, and we know how to level them up to make them more unique and engage our audience. But how can we create a repeatable system so that we never run out of ideas and it's not a big hassle every single day to come up with a new video idea? And my first tip is to be an informed consumer. If you're interested in being on YouTube, watch some YouTube, see how other people do it, and don't just watch for your own entertainment, but watch to learn. Watch to learn how people construct their hooks, watch to learn what types of ideas they express in their videos, and watch to learn how they make their titles and their thumbnails. Consume material with intention. Also, if you're a business owner, you're probably plugged into other aspects of your industry on other social media networks. If you're a restaurateur, you might follow some other restaurants on Instagram. If you are a business coach, you probably follow other business coaches on LinkedIn. So pay attention to what they're posting, and also pay attention to people who engage in their comments. If their customers are commenting on their posts, what problems are they bringing up? What are the things that everyone's talking about in your industry right now? And then find an easily accessible way for you to write down those problems as they appear, or any other video ideas that come to mind. This can be the Notes app on your phone, a Slack channel, a Google document, a physical notebook, something that you can carry around with you at all times. That makes it easy for you to pull up and write down an idea as you have it. I keep various notes on my phone just so I can pull it up and write down when I think of a problem, or when I hear somebody having a problem. I just write it down as a solution statement. And that's the next step. Once you capture what problems and things people are talking about in your industry, take one day a week, maybe even one day every other week, and write down, go through each one of those problem statements and rewrite it as a solution. Usually the easiest way to turn a problem statement into a solution statement is to add how to in front of it, maybe change some words around. For example, with my work, I have a lot of people saying, I feel awkward on camera. A solution statement to that might be how to feel natural on camera. Boom, you have another video topic. So what I find works for me is capturing all those problems throughout my week and then having one day a week where I sit down and I turn all those problems into solution statements. And then I can start refining each one as a standalone video idea, or combine some of them. So we've gone through a 3-step process of coming up with your video ideas. First, we talked about turning your frequently asked questions into your first 10 video ideas. Then we talked about how to level up those ideas by getting specific, detailed, and unique, and start engaging your audience with more value. And finally, we talked about this system, having an easy way for you to capture information on what people are talking about in your industry, what problems they're facing, and then taking one day a week to turn each one of those problems into a solution statement. Coming up with video ideas is a recurring problem for anybody starting YouTube, but if you can solve this early, you set yourself up for a really good journey with the YouTube platform, and really with any videos that you make in the future for any platform. But before you go and come up with a bunch of great video ideas, you might want to understand why YouTube is such a great place for businesses right now. So that's why I made this video. Go check that out and let me know what other questions you have about using YouTube to grow your business. And I'll see you over there.